So I want to know what went into your favorite horror games.
What went into... Well, I went on Board Game Geek and I selected horror. And I went through the list of all the games. Well, not all of them because there's too many. I went through the games that I've played. And then after I've made a list, I said, okay, these are the ones that I would rate.
Now, did you take some of those that were on BGG? Did you take them off? You're like, that's not horror. I'm taking them off. Or there
was a few they had Smash at this horror. So anything that has, like you said before, anything that has imagery like dark, violent imagery, anything that invokes a sense of fear. So they might cross genres because you'll see fantasy. Usually, there's some fantasy horror. There's some sci-fi horror. So those genres kind of cross paths. So on my list, you'll see some that kind of do that thing.
I had a very similar structure to that. Okay, so... Okay. Welcome to our top 10 of horror games, which was You're a big fan of horror games, right?
No.
You were like, I don't think I can make 10. Then you call me back and you're like, I got 10.
Well, I realized a lot of the horror games that are labeled horror are actually like zombie games, and there are a ton of those.
Zombie games.
So I might have I may have one or two zombie games.
Which is funny because I don't think we've ever played a zombie game together, have we? Did you play the Zombicide at Dice Tower?
Yeah,
at Dice Tower. Okay. Mm-hmm. We played my set. Zombicide 1.
Yes.
But zombie games are not something that we play a lot.
No, and we also played Last Man on Earth, I think, one time.
Did we?
I think. I don't remember.
Okay.
But anyway.
So, horror games are games that either have scary or gory or monsters in them. You don't see a lot of Euros like this. Mm-hmm. Let's talk about some honorable mentions that you had, some that didn't make your list.
Well, I don't necessarily have honorable mentions more than there are some games that I've not played that I have a feeling that if I would have played, they would have been on this list.
Yeah, there's a lot of those.
So one of those is Arkham Horror. I've never played Arkham Horror, but I'm pretty sure that if I played it, it would be on this list just because of the narrative, the narrative of the game, and the way it invokes that horror. You know,
it's a good solo game though. Take a couple of investigators just solo it out.
So if you guys are freaking out, like, how come you didn't say Arkham Horror? Well, it's because I don't put games on my list that I've not played.
It's almost impossible to have your own top 10 list if you haven't played it.
So that's not on my list. And then
I like how people would freak out that it isn't one of your top 10 favorite games.
Like, how could it not be?
How could it not be your favorite?
And then there's another one that is Space Hulk.
I had that one.
Space Hulk by Games Workshop, and so that game I have not played, but I'm pretty sure that if I would have played that game, that would also be on my list because it's that horror, like sci-fi horror, genre thing. So those would be my honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions for me is Fearsome Floors by Freeman Freeze. That's a fun Halloween game. It definitely would never be in my top favorite games, but if
it's fun, is it really horror?
Have you played it?
No.
The whole idea is that you're going through like this. You're trying to get out of a room, and like they have different monsters. Frankenstein's coming after you, but you can slip on blood and fall, and it's just kind of.
Oh, okay. Slip on blood.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I also put Rampage down, which is also called Terror Meeple City, where you flick them, dexterity.
Yeah, I forgot about that game. That's a good game.
It's a good game. I mean, dexterity games are never going to be like my favorite game, but it's something I play with my kids. A Smash Up. If you give me that has the horror expansion for it. It has like vampires and werewolves. That's why I didn't put it on my list. That's why it didn't make the list, but I wanted to mention it.
Okay.
And there's a really neat little Euro game called, and it's the only Euro game really I thought that could make the list was Don't Turn Back. I don't know if you played this yet.
No.
You probably won't because it's such like an under the radar, low budget independent thing, but it's got that gothic horror to it. Okay. And I did a review on it, so you don't watch my channel. It's good to know. But it's kind of spooky in this Euro card placement type of way. So the cards are like the workers that you're placing, but it's very spooky, and the artwork is just weird, like evil, warped. But you should try it out. Okay. Number 10 for you.
Number 10, I have Run, Fight, or Die, which is by Richard Launius, I think.
Yes.
And it is a zombie game. which will be one of probably many.
Zombies is going to dominate the horror section, I think.
This game is really fun. It plays really quickly, and you are a survivor in this zombie apocalypse. And pretty much what happens is these zombies just come towards you, and you roll dice to determine which ones you can hit, which ones you can shoot, and which ones you can push back. And I really like the feel of dread as more and more zombies come your way, and you're trying to fend them off, and you can't. They just keep on coming, and
you will die.
You will die. And pretty much the way you win is if you're the last one to survive. Yeah. And the gameplay is really quick, and that's where I like the game a lot. I mean, I wouldn't play it all the time, but it's a horror game that I definitely would enjoy.
It's one of the first games I played with Ryan, which is a buddy of ours, who disappeared. Like, he's like Houdini David Copperfield. Dude disappeared off the face of the planet.
He's around.
Is he? Does he exist?
Yeah, he exists. He's a person. He's got a social security number.
Maybe.
I'm sure.
So each one of mine, I kind of put... I wanted to highlight... I like highlighting some games that people haven't heard of before that I enjoyed. I enjoy that. But it's hard to not include the best games. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So some of these I listed end up maybe combining them into categories, if you will.
Okay.
So this one will be my old school category. If I had to put something on here, it would be Arkham Horror. But you have Arkham Horror, you have the D&D series with Ravenloft and Wrath of the City and that. And then Darkest Night is the one that I want to highlight also from Victory Point Games, which is Arkham Horror in a smaller box, self-contained. It plays a lot like Arkham Horror, but smaller. Okay. And that maybe and the table space that it requires is much smaller. And I think if you like Arkham, but you feel like it's too bloated, give Darkest Night. That has some expansions now. Give it a try. So my old school would be Arkham Horror. That game is just so vast and so big. But it's old school in the idea that it has the old dice rolling, and you're rolling a lot of dice and doing that kind of thing. So that's my number 10. Number 9.
All right, on my number 9, I actually have Darkest Horror. I mean, the Darkest Horror. Darkest Night. See, that's what happens when we're... I was thinking Arkham Horror. See, it's the combination of the two. The marriage of the two. Darkest Night is a fantasy horror game where you're playing... the story is really cool because the story is set in a world where the necromancer, who's the villain of the game, has already conquered the world, and so everything's in eternal darkness, and you're a group of heroes that is trying to restore the light. But the game is really difficult to win, and you just pretty much going around town fighting these creatures and trying to find the relics in order to destroy the necromancer.
I'm surprised you like this game. I didn't even know you knew about it.
Yeah, I like this game a lot. It's one of the games that I have it in my top solo games.
Top 10 list. I get to know so much more about you. Do you play this with other people? I was going to ask you.
I do not play this with other people. I play this on my own. What's very cool is that I think as of I don't know when this is going to post, but I think the Kickstarter for the second edition will just have ended. But you can get the new edition, which has way nicer components. It's easier to read.
We're live streaming right now.
We're live streaming. Oh, that would be great. And it comes with miniatures if you want to purchase the miniatures too. But what's really cool about this new second edition is there comes rules where you don't have to play all 4 characters anymore. You can just play 2 characters. And so you play 2 characters that has 2 sets of powers, which is kind of cool. And then you can just play using those 2 characters. So now it's a lot more manageable if you want to play with less characters on the board. Because if you play with 1 player or 4 players, you have to play with 4 characters.
Right.
Now with this new variant, you only have to play 2 characters. So it's
playing multiple characters solo never bothers me. Like, I know some people say I can't handle that, but
to me it bothered me a little bit just because it was too much card management, and I just didn't want to handle all that stuff.
My number 9 is my negotiation games, and I broke this up because these 2 games are the same game. One is for gamers, and one is for a more wider night. When that's City of Horror and Mall of Horror. City of Horror is the sequel, but it really has a lot of gamer things. It's almost like King of New York versus King of Tokyo. Okay. You have that here. I would suggest playing Mall of Horror first, and then jumping into City of Horror. You're going to have a lot more cards to understand, a lot more icons. Each character is going to have a unique power. They can get, I don't want to say complicated, but for such a simple game, it can get complicated. So definitely start with Mall of Horror, jump your way up to City of Horror, the same way of the Tokyo series. Have you played these?
I've played City of Horror
with me.
Yeah,
at Dice Tower. Yeah,
that was a really interesting game.
Half the
it's
table
it's a voting game because it's a voting game.
Just a voting game. You have to negotiate.
Yeah.
You have things to negotiate with a little bit, but it gets away from the voting where it's like you own the game, so you're going to lose.
Right.
Where it's like if they're playing to win, you have to be a little bit more strategic about that because in certain areas of the board, you're getting resources and you're only voting with those people. Not everybody's sitting there. And I like that. But it can get down to you own the game and you're not going to win, which sometimes these voting games get down to.
Yeah.
Number 8.
All right. My number 8 is Arkham Horror's younger cousin, Elder Sign. It's the dice version of Arkham Horror, and it's a quick little game. It gives me that feeling of dread just because the way the game is designed. It's like the game is gonna just beat you up and kick you in the face. So I've not played Arkham Horror. I'm guessing the game is the same way, where you're not gonna win. You're probably not gonna win, and that's how this game also feels. You play, and it doesn't matter what you do. Your odds are not in your favor.
And you like this better with one of the expansions, right?
Yes, I like them with the Gates of Arkham. So that one is like it's like a whole different module to the game.
How does it compare to the app? Because I played the app. I played both, but I tend to like the app because it just takes care of everything for me. Mm-hmm. How do you feel about that?
I've played the app, and I think the app is nice just because it handles a lot of the token moving around. But I like the feeling of actually rolling the dice, actually flipping cards around, and it's got a different mechanic than what's on the app. I don't know if the app has the Gates of Arkham expansion because it's a totally different thing. But yeah,
I will allow it. Number 8 is my deck builders, and now what I'm going to put is Legendary Alien is a really, 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 really good cooperative deck builder. Like the whole thing. Like, they took the Legendary series, which I like. It's my favorite game, the Marvel one. But on somebody else's turn, when it's your turn, somebody else can help you with their card, and it's usually a good card. Okay. So they have to give that up on their turn, but they get to draw another card, and that cooperation really makes it and gives that feeling of suspense. Also, that when the monsters are moving down, or the aliens, you don't know what's there. Have you played this?
No. I've seen it played.
Now, Predator may have made my list, but I hadn't played it.
Okay.
Other deck builders you might want to check out is Resident Evil Deck Builder. It's an early one, but if you like the Resident Evil license, it's not bad. And then Nightfall, which I prefer to play on an iPad. Mm-hmm. But Nightfall is kind of one of my go-to games on the iPad. That chaining thing is pretty interesting. It's a game that takes a little bit, Nightfall, to get the hang of, but it's really fun. And I wish there was an app for Legendary Alien. I would buy that immediately. It works really good, but it might be one of the best with multiple players on my list.
Oh, wow.
It just works.
And in that one, like the players, if you end up dying, you actually become the opposing team, don't you?
Yeah, but that's really broken to me. It's very powerful and just... it's way overpowered. But there isn't a lot of cooperative horror games either. I guess Arkham Horror, that whole universe is, but it wasn't a lot that I saw. But that's my number 8. Number 7.
All right, number 7. I have Space Hulk Death Angel, which is the
I forgot about that version. Yeah,
and that's a fun little. So I play it solo. You're playing it's pretty much the same story as the Space Hulk, the actual big board game, but just reduced to a small, compact travel size, I guess you could almost say.
Very travel size.
You play a team of Space Marines that's going into the Space Hulk and discovering what the problem is, and you find a bunch of gene stealers, and you're just trying to survive, trying to get to the end. And the game is just like all the other games on this list that have to do with horror. Their odds are not in your favor. You are probably going to die. If you make it, it's because it was a miracle. A miracle has happened. But this game, it plays really fast. It's like Elder Sign. It's just a quick dice game, and things move pretty quickly. And I enjoy it for the experience that it is. And
very
it's
good.
A horror theme.
Mine next is what I call my silly fun. I don't think if you play this one, but it's called Zombie Survival.
No.
It's like this little, I don't want to say abstract, but like you're in a house and the zombies are coming and you're hoarding in and you have to like get supplies and food and you run to your neighbor's house. Like I think it's Twilight Creations. That tells you a little bit about it.
Okay.
But that does a disservice to the game.
Okay.
Because it's not zombies. I mean, it's not like that. That was really neat.
Okay.
And there's another game like that called Zombie Town, which might be just a step down from Zombie Survival. But if you haven't played Zombie Survival, you can play it solo a little bit. And it's really, really a fun game. It surprised me a lot.
Okay.
So that's going to be my silly fun one. Number 6.
My number 6 is probably one of the longest, well, not one of the longest, but probably, maybe one of the longest games on my list as far as playing length, and that's Betrayal on the House on the Hill.
I've been trying to get this game to the table forever.
This game, it's such a fun game, but it's also a very frustrating game just because of the way the game is played. So you have you're a group of, I don't even know what you are, just you're a group of people that go into this mansion that go, and you flip over these tiles to kind of make up what this house looks like, and you're discovering what the story is as you search through the house. And then halfway through the game, all of a sudden an event happens and one of you becomes the villain, and then everyone else is trying to survive. And then what's really cool about this game is that there's about in the intro game, or in the game that comes with the box, because I think there's an expansion that's coming out, there's like 50 stories, 50 different end conditions. So you don't know which one you're going to get. So all of a sudden, you start playing this game and you think everything's fine, and then all of a sudden one of you is an alien from outer space, and everyone has to try to get away before he abducts everyone or something crazy like that. And so it's really a nice narrative kind of game. You don't take seriously.
It can get creepy though. Like,
yes,
when the priest is chasing the little boy down, it gets creepy.
But it's got some really nice storytelling moments. It has a good arc.
So everybody's cooperative, and then at some point in the game, one person will go in another room and read a book, and then they're the bad guy.
And they have a goal that you're trying to figure out what it is, and you have a goal that he's trying to figure out what it is, and it's just tons of fun. There's no strategy really. It's just going and doing what you think would be a fun story. So
my number 6 is my story-driven dudes on a map. So in this place, I'm gonna put Fireteam Zero. It's a really, really fun game. I look so forward to expansions being released for that. And that's just, you're going on missions, guys on the map, you're killing things. All things zombies, if you're not into miniatures, if you want just chits, this is a really good chit game. And it tells a whole story over a campaign. And it's really, really neat. And the characters, even their chits, kind of come to life. On a lesser note, if you want to do Ghostbusters, if you really like that theme, there may be some issues with the game. I didn't really care that much. I liked it. So I put Ghostbusters on that list. But I think the first two, Fireteam Zero and All Things Zombies, are better games. But you may like the license of Ghostbusters. Have you played any of these?
No.
Fireteam Zero is a Kickstarter. I think it's exclusively a Kickstarter now.
Okay. Fireteam, that's like an army game, isn't it?
Kind of, but there's monsters that are in that.
Oh, okay.
And All Things Zombies been out forever. But it's neat because it's just cardboard, but it's a really good one, and it has a really strong story because the whole game is just a campaign. There might be a skirmish in the box, but I never play those modes. But the whole game is just going through a story campaign. Okay. So you have to go here and find Sarah, and then that starts a second whatever. And it's really neat.
Oh, that's
and your characters can die off, and that's fine. They die off. You better meet new people or you lose. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So it's really neat. Man, I've been waiting for your number 5 this whole time. What is it? What could it be? Oh, no!
Oh, it's a deck builder. Dark Gothic. I think I talked about it in one of...
I heard of it.
Talk about deck building games.
Oh, you talked about it before?
Yeah, it's the deck building. It's the deck building version of A Touch of Evil by Flying Frog. So Touch of Evil is
new.
It's newer. It's a few years old.
Huh. They don't promote their games very well. I feel like I always.
I think right now because they're all about the Shadows of Brimstone line. Yeah. They're like with all their other stuff. They're kind of put it on hold or they're on the back burner. But this game's pretty fun. It's a deck building game, and you're just playing an investigator in this small colonial town, and you're just trying to figure out what the mystery is. And you're either trying to, discover, try to stop the werewolf, or you're trying to stop the banshee, or you're trying to stop the evil scarecrow. And it's really cool because people in the town There's some people in the town that are actually in cahoots with the evil villain, and you're trying to figure that out. And the gameplay is really fun, and I really enjoyed it. For a deck building game, it was really strong. Have this one? I do have this game. I'm surprised not a lot more people talk about it, and I think just because we got inundated with a lot of deck builders anyway, and a lot of them tend to do the same thing. I just really enjoy this one for what it is, especially in a cooperative sense.
My number 5 is Eldritch Horror. This is a really fun game. It's kind of Arkham Horror, but from a global perspective.
Okay.
So you're just kind of moving guys around the map, doing things. It is really hard. And when I play this game, because it's cooperative, you have to focus on the mission at hand to not get sidetracked. And people always, I'm going to go do this, I'm going to do that. No, the mission, otherwise you're going to lose. It's pretty hard.
Okay.
There's some expansions out for it. I haven't played them all, but I look forward to it. But Eldritch Horror is my number 5.
All right, my number 4, this is another Flying Frog game.
You like Flying Frog, huh?
I like Flying Frog, their Amerithrash style games. They're really fun. I really enjoy them. This one is Last Night on Earth. It's a zombie game. Another zombie game. How many zombie games have I listed? 1, 2, 3?
Less than me.
Probably. But in this game, you're playing a survivor in a town, or depending on what game box you buy. And you're just trying to accomplish missions. And the other player plays zombies, and he's just populating the board with zombies. So I guess they're smart zombies that they can strategically get into places. But it's a really fun game. I mean, you're just like Haunted House on a Hill.
This game is so thematic, though. Like all the missions are like directly from horror movies. So
right. So it's like, oh, you got to get all the pieces of the truck and escape,
which is Night of the Living Dead.
Or you have to set the radio tower on fire, or summon all the zombies and then set it on fire and kill them all. So it's cool stuff like that. And pretty much you're just going around finding weapons, finding equipment, and making sure you don't die. Yeah. So if you like that sort of thing, then you'd probably like this.
It's a really good one. My number 4 is my solo game, which is Dawn of the Zeds. It's got the new 3rd edition. Haven't got to play it yet, but Dawn of the Zeds is at least the 2nd edition. Let's just say that is a fantastic solo game. It uses the States of Siege engine that Victory Point Games has, and it's all kinds of characters, and they pop up at different times throughout the story. When you're done, you really feel like you played a movie. You really, really do. I don't think the game is overly hard or difficult or easy. It's right in that sweet spot for me. This is a game that I'll pull out anytime and play. And for a solo game, it's not a tug of war. It's not a race for points. There's an actual story, and your decisions matter, which is unique. So this is one of my favorite solo games ever.
Wow, ever.
Yeah, it's really that good. Yeah, okay. You haven't played that, I see.
No, I've not.
Yeah, that's why your reaction would be that way, because you haven't played it. It's great, man. So, Dawn of the Zeds.
Alright, so my number 3 is a zombie game that I would play above Last Night on Earth, and that's Zombicide, which is probably one of the most popular zombie games out right now.
Do you have all the stuff for it?
I have none of the things for it, because you have all the stuff for it. So
we were just talking about that before we filmed. Is it time to quit Zombicide?
Yes. I like how streamlined it is. This game, I mean, it's just simple. You just get stuff and you kill things. And the way the game functions with the zombies that just constantly populate the board, the miniatures, I think this is what makes it for me, is you're 1 out of 4 survivors, and then in the next space, there's like 20 zombies.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know if we're going to get through this. Well, let's try. I've got a chainsaw.
My speed is 4. Yeah. I'm going to make it. You're not.
I've got a chainsaw and I've got a shotgun, and I think I can do something.
Who's got a bomb?
Yeah, but it's got this whole, every time I play this game, I just want to do a Leroy Jenkins and just I got this, guys. Leroy Jenkins.
I don't get the reference.
Oh, really? Mm-mm. It's an old reference from World of Warcraft or one of those old...
Oh, okay, I like that.
Where a guy kind of, you go with a party, and then there's this one guy who videotaped himself. He would say his name was Leroy Jenkins. He goes, Leroy Jenkins, and he'd go off, separate from the party to fight like a horde of monsters by himself. So there you go. I just taught you guys something.
Nerd. Number 3 is my 2-player game, Claustophobia. Have you played this?
Oh, no.
It's wonderful.
I think that would be on my list if I would have played it.
The only downfall of Claustrophobia is I feel like I wish there were more miniatures in there, but they come pre-painted and they're fantastic. You just use the same ones over and over. But usually the same ones over limits how many are on the board and all that. And But this is a wonderful game with a great storyline, and it's 2-player. It plays quick. It has exploration. It's almost Descent done right. Does that make sense?
Oh, that's cool.
So Claustrophobia, the alternative to that would be Descent if you're going to be playing with more players and you want a dungeon crawl thing. There's a lot of monsters in there that can be very scary. So 2-player Claustrophobia, which I feel like is the better game, and then Descent, which just has so much. It's like Arkham. It's just bloated. So we'll throw that in there.
Number 2, this is I guess a party style game. Dead of Winter.
Let's do this together because this is my number 2.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah.
All right, number 2, Dead of Winter. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This game's so much fun.
That's funny.
It can get old if you played. Have you played it a lot? I played this game a lot. And
who are you playing this game with? And not inviting me to.
I'm not gonna say. But it's really cool. I just really like.
Any game will get tired if you played it too much.
Yes.
But this is out of all the games on our list, this is probably an actual game.
It's an actual game that you have to make strategic decisions. The very fact that you have zombies, so you have the horde of zombies, that the pressure of that, but then at the same time the creepiness of, is this guy my team or is he not on my team? Or because everybody's kind of on the same team.
I feel like that's in the game, but I feel like I never feel that way. I never feel like the betrayal hurts me too much.
But I don't know.
Unlike Battlestar Galactica,
that's true.
Combat. I don't know.
But I do get that sense of I can't trust anybody. I'm supposed to trust everyone, but I really don't. And so it does a really good job at showing that to you. And then what's the thing? The Crossroads cards, the narrative of it, the way that whole thing works is also what makes the game really fun to play. And I almost feel like the stories always feels new every time I play it. So yeah. I really enjoy the game.
I'm looking forward to the expansion / standalone game that's coming out. It's a really good one. I don't get to play as much as I like to, but there is an actual game there, I think. It's still not quite the Euro game that people might be looking for. But there is an actual game there. And the trader mechanic isn't as strong as Battlestar Galactica. No. It's more like Shadows over Camelot, where they can kind of screw you a little bit, but they have their own thing going on, so they have to accomplish that also. So we're in agreement. The number 2 horror game is Dead of Winter.
Yes.
What could be your number 1 at this point?
My number 1 is Ghost Stories. Ghost Stories.
I like this app.
Oh, I've not played the app.
Yeah, but I've never played the game. I played the app.
Okay, this game is so hard. It's just, you start playing this game and it just kicks you in the teeth. You play a monk in a small village.
That. It's too hard. I mean, if it's unfair, I don't.
But it's not unfair. It's just the way the monsters come out and the way that the village tiles are placed really determines how you play the game and if you're going to be able to win. Sure, mathematically, there's going to be a lot of situations where you're not going to be able to win no matter what. But the fact that you feel like you're doing something is kind of cool. But I really like the theme of it the most, is that you're playing a monk who's trying to exorcise these evil spirits from this village. Because if they don't, then they haunt the town and they kill people in the town. And what's really interesting is the art in this game is really disturbing but fun. I don't know if that makes sense.
I think the word is ghostly.
Yeah, it's just the imagery's. I guess it's because it's drawn like it's a cartoon, but a very grotesque cartoon. So it doesn't feel adult, but it is. If you guys have ever played the game, you know what I'm talking about. But it really adds to the whole feel of the horror of this game. And for me, it's my number 1 because it's a game. It plays well, and it has good art, and it invokes that horror theme really, really well. So that's my number 1, Ghost Stories.
My number 1 horror game is Campaign Manager, which is Obama versus John McCain. And the game is heavily leaned towards one of the candidates, and it's very scary to me.
Come on, is that...
Now, my number one is Dudes on the Map. It's Zombicide and Last Night on Earth. They're really the same game.
They are the same.
I think that Last Night on Earth is better for... Here's a board, and we're going to beat this board, and it feels cinematic. Where Zombicide is more of a campaign game. There's like a campaign that can go on where you can build your characters up and get a little bit stronger, which I like. The Zombicide is more cooperative. The Last Night on Earth, somebody is playing the zombies, but I don't feel like playing the zombies is all that interesting. I think Zombicide is probably the better game, but it's also the newer game. Yeah. But I don't think you can go wrong with either one. So to me, it's really hard to differentiate the two. So I'll just say both of those. And those are my Dudes on the Map, Zombicide and Last Night on Earth.
Okay.
So in conclusion, like, what did you find about horror games that surprised you a little bit? The number of zombie games.
The number of zombie games. It's almost annoying a little bit.
But they're good. I mean, I feel like the games on our list are good.
Yeah, I would say so. Yes. I've not played an interesting game that I would like to play and see how that would go. Is that 15 minute zombie?
Zombie 15. That's pretty good. I forgot about that one, but I don't know if it wouldn't have made the list.
Oh, okay.
You have Spectral Rails, which is a train game about people who have died. Okay. There's also one called like Hell Train or something. I did a review on it a long time ago, but it's like a train game about going to the depths of hell.
Hence the name, Hell Train.
I think it's called Hell Train. I don't think that's right, but I think it's something like that. You don't see a lot of like Wolfman, Frankenstein games. I said Fearsome Floors.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of those.
Oh, there's like Fury of Dracula.
I was going to say Fury of Dracula. There's some Dracula games up there. What else is there? Dracula. There's a couple others, right? Fury of Dracula. There's just 3 of those.
Yeah.
Oh, and Phantom of the Opera. We played that one together.
Yeah, but is that really horror?
I don't know.
Guess.
I'm just looking for other things.
It's kind of hard. Like, I guess if you want to say Werewolf, if you play Werewolf, is kind of.
I've been designing a serial killer game, like a Jason or Freddy type of thing. But you don't, other than mass market, you don't see. I felt like you haven't seen a lot of those.
No.
Okay, well, heavy gonna lean zombies, but you know what? I don't really feel like horror games are gory. I don't feel like that they're really that scary. It's just a theme that's attached to it more than anything.
Right.
None of these I really read. Maybe Arkham Horror, if you did the flavor text Dead of Winter, maybe you get some of that tension, but it's not the same feeling.
Yeah, but I think a lot of it has to come with the narrative. Like, really, really good.
Well, the people are glad that you're back.
Oh, are they? Guys, sorry I've been away. I've been busy.
They've been clamoring for you, especially the ladies. Like, all the female viewers are looking for you. You know that, right?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, your grandmother's a watcher of this.
Oh, that's right. I totally forgot about that.
She likes you.
Hi,
Grandma.
Hola, abuelita. Oh, no, that's not. I don't say grandma. Abuelita.
Malito.
No, malito, what is that?
I don't know.
Just said sick. You're like, hey, I'm sick. All right.
Is your hair okay? Makeup good?
My hair's good. I got a little fro going on.
Good, I like that. That keeps you ambiguous.
Is it going? I don't even know. Oh, there. It's going.